Boom shakalaka, what is going on everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's episode we are going to be talking about the Bitcoin double head and shoulders, one bullish, one bearish, one leading to $14,400, another leading to $6,400, what those mean, and also is this actually the bottom? Because if it's not, it's a terrible failure. But we'll be looking at that, we'll be looking at some news articles, and we'll be looking at some optimistic outlooks for Bitcoin. So if you think that's interesting, stay tuned for today's episode. All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. You might have noticed I didn't make some videos for a few days because I was traveling halfway around the globe. Well, I am here and making some videos, and today we're going to do some awesome stuff. We're going to take a look at the Bitcoin double head and shoulders going on right now because one head and shoulders just isn't enough. And we'll be taking a look at some negative news articles and what this could potentially mean because right now people are pretty darn fearful about Bitcoin. So, before we get started, guys, if you could just smash on the like button. Everybody else is asking to do it, and I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. Just smash the shit out of it, double nuke, elbow slam it, because it helps out the channel, helps people watch this channel as opposed to other channels. So, what's going on right now? Well, if we take a look, we have a very large green head and shoulders, and then we have a smaller red head and shoulders. Now, both of these right now, the green one is not completed. We haven't completed the right shoulder of it. The red one has been completed, but both of these, we can take a look and estimate where potentially Bitcoin could go based on these. So if we take a look at this one, the red one, and we measure down, that brings us to around $6,400. Now, if we take a look at the green one, and again, we measure up, this one brings us to right around $14,400. Now, both of those right there could go either way. We would obviously need this right shoulder to be completed for the bigger green one to be completed. But am I really scared about what's going on right now? No, right now everybody's freaking out because the price dropped pretty dramatically over the past few days. And rightly so, people are freaking out. But I think they're forgetting the long-term picture. And I'm going to show you some graphs coming up as to why actually this price drop is quite expected, quite normal for what's to happen with Bitcoin before a halving. First thing I want to do is take a look at this article by Crypto Bullet on TradingView. So now he says that the low must be in, otherwise it's a failure. So if we take a look at this graph, this is the exponential curve, these black lines right here that Bitcoin has been resting in. And we have this head and shoulders here, but going any lower than this green support and resistance line would mean failure. And he says that if this indeed happens, you can see this exponential growth curve right here. Bitcoin is right at the bottom end of it, so it would likely bounce back up. And the top of that exponential growth curve is right around $100,000. So if we stay in this growth curve, which Bitcoin has not broken out of ever, then we could be looking at a $100,000 Bitcoin on the bounce back up. But he says that if it was to break through that lower end of it, there's two outcomes he would be looking for. So if this 7,600 does not hold on a weekly basis, not the daily candles, but on a weekly close, there are two outcomes he'd be looking for. One would be a full retrace and printing at a slightly lower at $6,300, which is exactly where this one measures to, this red bearish head and shoulders. Or the second would be going all the way down to the 200 moving average, currently sitting at $5,500, so $5,500. Those are two outcomes he's looking at. Now, in terms of Bitcoin, what it's doing right now, it is breaking the 21 weekly moving average, which it generally tends to do when it's on its way down from one of the highs. Now, you can see it broke here and then regained here, and then it broke here and regained here. This one, the first time it was big, the second time it was shorter. This time I would expect it to be even shorter because we are in this wedge by the blue line on top and the white line down on the bottom. Now, right now, this $8,000 area is where we've broken through. Towards the bottom, we don't want to break below the $7,600 mark as the Bullet guy said, Crypto Bullet said. But if we do to 7,300 to the 63, 6,400, and then to 5,200, 5,500 areas could be where it breaks to on the lower side. Now, this was a chart that I made quite a long time ago, just about a downward trend and an upward trend that we seem to be in. And I thought that we had broken out of the downtrend, as you can see here. You can see that Bitcoin was in a downtrend for quite a while. I thought that we had broken out of this to the upside, but it was just a brief breakout, and now we're back down in it. We're in this longer uptrend since December of 2018. And right now, again, this is another wedge that we're in. Bitcoin is in a lot of wedges right now. A lot of people don't know where it's going, but I suspect it would likely be going up. Now, I watched this video by Alessio Rastani. He said to watch out. You need to not tell Bitcoin where to go. You need to react to where Bitcoin's going and watch the market. And that's what experienced traders do. Newbie traders like myself, we want to predict it. Well, so fine. Price may come down. It definitely needs to find support here because if it doesn't, it could break down quite a bit lower. Now, there's one thing that I want to take a look at here. This was a video that I made a few days ago, like close to a week ago. I'll probably link to it up there, something like that. And if you can see this red box here, so this is the expected drawdown on Bitcoin price pre-halving. Now, why is that expected? Because I took a look at the previous 2 halvings and averaged them out. Now, generally, Bitcoin, from its peak pre-halving, it comes down about 20% at the time of halving, which would put Bitcoin at about $8,300. But it goes down about 39% before it comes back up to that 20%. So that actually brings Bitcoin down to the $6,300. So that's the third time that we've seen $6,300, which could potentially happen. Bitcoin could likely come down to $6,300 before it bounces back up. So how did I get this? Well, if you take a look at the previous halvings, this one here, you can see that Bitcoin, this is the one in 2016. Okay, Bitcoin dropped 30% overall before it went to 17% at the time of the halving. And then if we go back to the one before that, this one dropped 48% before crossing at 23% for the halving. So as you can see, you average those out and then you get this, and potentially will put us right there. So what Bitcoin is doing right now with this giant price drop is still very, very normal pre-halving. But despite what's going on, despite it being normal, people are still freaking out. We have the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index right now at extreme fear, a 17. So last week we were in fear, last month we were in greed, but yesterday, today, we are in extreme fear. And some say be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. So right now everybody's extremely fearful. Might be a time to be extremely greedy. That's when smart money would get into it. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. That's totally up to you. But let's take a look at some of these articles. Here in Cointelegraph, Bitcoin should now behave badly as analyst says IMF warns of crisis. Bad news. FUD, FUD, FUD. Peter Schiff says Bitcoin is done after failing as digital gold. More FUD. Is Bitcoin really a safe haven asset? After S&P goes down, Bitcoin goes down too. All this FUD, FUD, FUD. And furthermore, this right here, the coronavirus recession will be Bitcoin's first major test. Bitcoin has only existed in the framework of larger government-fueled fiat bubble. So Bitcoin could die in this crazy thing. And this just reminds me of what Jacob Canfield said here on TradingView. He said that the CNBC Bitcoin indicator gives an insane 95% accuracy for Bitcoin. Every time they said something good, the price went down. Every time they said something bad, price went up. If we take a look at the news, all the news right now is bad. It's all FUD. So likely price is going to go up. And just one more thing that I wanted to show you guys, because this is something that you guys really need to see, that you should share with all of your friends, because this is really telling us what's going on with coronavirus way more than anything that's going on in the news. We have this. This is data from the Center for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, and the Lancet. So this is disease deaths per day worldwide happening right now, okay? If we take a look at all the deaths from diseases happening worldwide compared with coronavirus, which is getting all the news, look at this. Coronavirus, 56 deaths per day. Guess what? Go up 2 orders of magnitude. You have tuberculosis, hepatitis B, pneumonia, HIV/AIDS, malaria, shingleosis, rotavirus, all those things. 2 orders of magnitude greater than what's going on with coronavirus. And coronavirus, yeah, sure, 56 deaths a day. While that's terrible, it is not anything like what's being blown out of proportion by the news. And it is absolutely crazy. I've been in these countries where they say it's absolutely, well, I've been in China before it happened. But, you know, people are concerned about Japan and Thailand and all these, and Cambodia and all these places. And guess what? People wear face masks there all the time. They're washing their hands extra. People aren't dying on the streets from it. It's totally blown out of proportion by the news. There's 56 people a day, which is absolutely ridiculously low compared with something 2 orders of magnitude higher. That, you know what's 2 orders of magnitude higher? That's $1 million Bitcoin. So we're talking about $1 million Bitcoin compared with this $10,000 Bitcoin we have right now. That's the difference of 2 orders of magnitude. So that's what I wanted to say. Guys, everything's being blown out of proportion with this. Everybody's freaking out because they think the world's coming to the end because of coronavirus. And guess what? It's probably one of the best opportunities to buy Bitcoin at a discount that we'll ever see for a long, long time. So that's all for my episode today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did want to say, if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a like, a thumbs up, all that fun stuff. Also, I want to say I am now hiring. So I'm looking for some of you guys who actually want to work with me. I'm looking for somebody skilled with Photoshop, somebody who'd want to be a news aggregator, so looking for all the latest Bitcoin cryptocurrency news. Also someone who's very skilled with businesses and building businesses. So if you are interested, email me at the email address right there, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Peace.